Okay, so I wanted to just talk about Melda Plugins a bit, because there was a post recently on the FL Studio forum, and they were sort of like, are these plugins actually good? I think they are, for one reason particularly, is that they provide a lot of the basic plugins, like ring mods and stuff that you may not actually get in FL Studio by default. A lot of the plugins actually do duplicate FL Studio plugins. Like, let's see here. Like, a lot of these are like bit crushers or like comb filters that you can get, but they're delivered in a way that is often much more simple to, like, it's very much more refined packaged. And the thing that's really exceptional with them is their ability to have a relatively low CPU load. I know when I'm making plugins like this for the basic, because they do a lot of the basic plugins like tremolo, which I recently did, and reverbs and delays and stuff like that. These are all sort of the basic DSP plugins that you often get with stuff, but they offer decent implementations of them that are low CPU load, and that's why I think they're great. Like, they offer an alternative recorder, an alternative notepad, like, and they even add in like this, so that if you don't have the keyboard for whatever reason, or the keyboard's like assigned as a MIDI keyboard or something, you still can save stuff. So it's an alternative for your notepad. Now, FL Studio Notebook is so much more basic, and the other cool thing is that it allows you to record the MIDI and stuff, which Notebook doesn't do. Where I think that FL Studio sort of is cool is the Notebook. So this can open web pages and stuff. So this is one way that FL Studio actually is a little bit cooler, because you can actually like browse the internet with this. Well, you can, I guess. I need to think it's HTML. It works, I just can't remember why it's not working right now. And you can read like documentation and stuff in here, so that's useful. But this is about Melda, right? So what else does it do? You have the ring mods and comb filters, all these frequency shifters, so like a pitch shifter. So the spectral plugins, FL Studio has these in the like producer and all plugins versions and stuff, but not quite as much. They're like specialty sort of situations. Like, I'm sure in some genres of music you may want to have frequency shifters a bit better. And then for the wave shapers and stuff, again, much more advanced than Fruity Wave Shaper. It's the same idea, like it's Fruity Wave Shaper, it's just way more advanced. So this here, it's like pretty basic. Compare that with like Fruity Wave Shaper. It has much the same thing as the poster output and the input levels for free, and the dry wet mix. Same basic idea. And then I think these are linear unipolar and bipolar modes. I find that Fruity Wave Shaper usually causes a lot more crunch, which is good usually. But you have squared, cubic, and logarithmic mode. You have an inbuilt DC blocker and a symmetrical mode. And it also has auto gain control. So again, it offers more, it gives you more than Fruity Wave Shaper. There are free plugins that you can upgrade to get rid of the neg line, but they're slightly, like, they're not complete copies, or the other way around, of the FL Studio native plugins, but they're very similar. What else is in here? The analyzers, like oscilloscopes and stuff. I find that they're a little bit very basic in appearance. Like, again, it's not really the best comparison, and the Melda plugins are stable. But say you compare M oscilloscope. It's a decent oscilloscope, right? It allows you to have ranges, so min-max range, to like zoom in on the range. So you compare that with, say, the oscilloscope I just threw together. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I like the color of mine, like I like the green. This bottom portion for the various zoom feature and volt range, like the scale. I sort of think that's sort of cool. But I don't have this frequency zoom in there. I don't have the actual, I have sort of by decibel, but I don't have it by frequency, so I can't like frequency spectrum analyze via like a filter, which I think maybe I'll do something like that, because I think it's cool to zoom in on a specific frequency range. I was trying to do that for pitch detection, which I sort of did within a range, but there's a specific operating range I was able to do it in. Like very low frequencies and like high frequencies were harder to detect, and I didn't really fix or figure out a way to do that yet. But as far as oscilloscopes, there's like Fruity Loops has like so FL Studio has Wave Candy, which is sort of the same idea, but it's more like a graphics engine, but it does do sort of the same thing, sort of. Still, I think this oscilloscope is fairly basic. You could probably develop it quite a bit more, but it's sort of cool. Like, what it does offer is the basic oscilloscope. What else is in? So not the spectral, but these like ratio plugins. Again, complex filters or reduced filter types that can be really CPU load intensive. So again, these are like more things that you might want for your upper frequencies. But detection and like there's a lot of like, these are more very fine tuning. I'd say they're very fine tuning items. Yeah, so they're useful if you're actually doing more like audio engineering. Yeah, I think I've sort of blathered on a lot, but hopefully at least introduces the idea of a lot of these Melda plugins. What else is, like analysis tools, the loudness, like the loudness plugin is pretty cool. So like the loudness analyzer, it's a good loudness analyzer and it's relatively low CPU. Like I've been playing around with different meters for detection, and I'm still running pretty heavy CPU load for my meters because I suck. But this is like really low CPU load for this meter for a short term and like integrate it and stuff. Like the fact they're able to do that in a way that's really low CPU load makes this plugin sort of exceptional, simply because it's able to process stuff in a very efficient way. Yeah, I'm not sure the MXXX I haven't used it, but it's a very advanced tool, much like with, say, Falcon 3. It lets you change stuff and do stuff on a, what I would say is more of a DAW or sound design level. Yeah, so this stuff lets you do a lot of basic sort of stuff, but they're all the essentials, but they're done in a CPU efficient way. So are they good plugins? Yeah, they're pretty good plugins. Are a lot of them like special or unique or really gimmicky or overdeveloped? No, they're essential. They're like they're more of an essentials pack of plugins that are delivered in a fairly straightforward and simple interface design, and all of them are sort of I'd say they're similar in appearance for me as Voxengo. So taking something like Tube Amp, for example, sort of the same GUI sort of style, just like you have your knobs and your meters. A lot of sidechain stuff too. Anyway, it's driving me nuts now. about these like DC blocking can come in handy. Fan control. Is there like a basic input? The fact you have the pan law shaping, sort of cool. The wideness, this is like sort of stuff you would want with some controls.